Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And tonight I'm here with a sketch challenge. Every Tuesday night I come on at 6:30 Pacific with a sketch challenge. So I hope that there'll be some people joining me. Usually there are. So it's usually fun. I really like the sketch today. And I'm really excited about the card I'm going to create. Sometimes I'm a little apprehensive about some of the cards because you never know how they're going to turn out. But I really like this one in my head. It's good in my head. So we'll see what it turns out like. So so I'm glad that you're with me tonight. If it's the first time you're joining me, if you're joining me through YouTube, if it's your first time you found me, welcome. And if it's not the first time you've come back, welcome back. And in either case, I hope you'll take the time to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm really working on getting to 1,000 YouTube subscribers, and it would really help me if you actually took the time to subscribe. And if you're coming in through either my Facebook page or Facebook group, please leave a comment. I'd love to see who's with me tonight. Actually, I just realized I can't see comments. Oh, there we go. Catherine and Lynette. Great. All right, I'm just looking down to see that I can see on Facebook. Okay, I can actually see comments. Oops, turning that sound off. Okay, let me switch over to my desktop and we'll get started. All right, like I said, I really like this sketch. I don't do a lot with circles, so this is a little bit different for me. So it's a regular size card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and then folded, and that forms your card base. Then the yellow piece is your mat number 1, layer number 1 is 4 inches by 5 1/4. The blue layer, which I'm calling layer number 2, is 2 inches by 4 inches. And then you've got 3 circles that are all roughly 2-inch circles. So if you've got a 2-inch circle punch, you can use that. I'm actually using the layering circle dies. And so I have used, it's the 4th largest layer. It's slightly bigger than 2 inches, but it's as close as I could get. So the 4th largest circle punch from the layering circles. All right, let me show you what I'm going to use. These are my supplies. Isn't it pretty? And Blushing Bride. What's the rest of them? Okay, so I'm using the Whimsical Trees. Hey, Nancy, welcome back. I love this product suite, and so I'm using the Whimsical Trees and the Christmas tree dies, and then Blushing Bride is my color, of course, that goes with it. Now, I've got a piece of Blushing Bride cardstock that is 5.5 by 8.5. Yeah, I know, Catherine, this is my favorite. This is the first suite that I saw in the catalog and went, oh yes, I have to have this one. So I'm going to score my Blushing Bride card base at 4 1/4. So I can remember to score it and not cut it like I did the other day. Wasn't so good. All right, so I've scored it, and when you score, this is where I've pressed down, so that's the valley. So always just fold into the mountain. So just turn that over, and I'm just going to go in folder to give it a good crease. Okay, so now I've got a piece of basic white cardstock that is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I've got a piece of, I don't know that you can see that. Can you see? There we go. Maybe. Oh, there you can start to see, hopefully. So this is 2 inches by 4 inches, and I have gone ahead and I finally got this. This is there's 2 parts to this. This is the wintry embossing folders, and these great boughs, and then the snowflakes. So I have gone ahead and embossed my basic white, my Blushing Bride, using the snowflake, because it just goes so well. So I'm going to go ahead, and somebody was teasing me last night because I started to use multi-purpose liquid glue more than I ever used to. So I'm going to do that again. There's lots of coming out. I try not to go too close to the edge with it because that way it doesn't squish all over the place. So I'm just going to adhere this in the middle. There we go. And then this can adhere on to. Oh, amazing what happens when you actually have glue. I think my last one, I was coming down to the, I was on fumes for there and it just wasn't coming out. All right, so I'm going to adhere this to my card base. I like the Blushing Bride, not a traditional Christmas color, but it is just so pretty. Okay, so that's basically my card base. Now I have gone ahead and cut out some circles already because I'm not exactly sure. So I know I'm going to use, this is one of the wonderful snowflakes. So that's about 2 inches. It's a little bit bigger, but that's going to be one of my circles. And then I think I'm going to use this one in Blushing Bride with the silver foil. And then I think I'm going to use, the white. And I'm going to put Sentiment in. I had thought I was going to use that one, but I need to stamp on it. So I think I'm going to use the white. I'm going to do some stamping on it so it's not quite so plain. And then I went ahead and cut out these. Now, I've heard them called folk Christmas trees. I call them Grinch Christmas trees. I just love them. They are so adorable. So I've cut out one of each size, and I'm going to put some in the inside. So I'm going to put these on here after I've done some stamping. What am I going to stamp? I'm going to stamp Joy as the sentiment. So let's do that first. And then we'll figure out what else we can put on here. So I'm just going to see. Stamp that like that. And then, you know what? Maybe I don't need anything more than that because I'm going to do something with ribbon. So, okay, there we go. So let's put these on. I'm just going to use a glue dot on my snowflake. So there are 2 sides to these snowflakes. The one I'm using is opalescent or color. The other side is just a white color. So you can actually color these snowflakes to any color you want. Just color them on the opposite side, the back side to the opalescent. I'll just put that there. And then I will put that. I'm going to use some glue dots. So all of this designer series paper comes from the Whimsy and Wonder specialty designer series paper. Just like that. And then I will put this one. I guess. I'm just kind of watching where I'm putting my dimensionals so that I don't get it stacked too high. Mm-hmm. Okay, so before I adhere my trees down, I want to show you a trick with this. This is the Blushing Bride Grosgrain ribbon. I've cut, I'm guessing this is about 20 inches or so. Now, if you just start to pull this, get a hold of one of the threads and just start. Now, start to pull, and you will see you get all of these fine fine threads. So once you've got that started, grab hold of that so that they don't all fall or you lose them, and just keep pulling. And it separates them all. Now, I saw one of the demonstrators from Australia, Mashwari Rajaguru, I think is her last name. I think that's how you say it. She's one of my teammates on the Creativity Abounds design team. And she showed us how to do this on a recent stamp camp. And I just love this idea. Look at this amazing threads that you get. And then you get all of this other stuff, other threads that you can use on another ribbon. So I probably don't need all of this. What I want to do is tie a bow. Okay, so I've got about, let's see, that's probably, let's see, I've got about 10 inches, and I think that's probably good for a bow. So I'm just going to take this and tie a bow, trying to keep all these threads kind of together. And that doesn't matter if you lose some of them out. And then I'm going to take and cut this. So I didn't need 20 inches, but I wasn't sure how this was going to go. All right, so then you can kind of play with it a little bit and get it to the size you want. And use, it's just so pretty. It's so delicate when you do this. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of trying to hold it in one spot and pull it so that I pull my threads together. All right, and then I'm going to trim. Isn't that a pretty bow? I just love that technique. Give it a little bit of a haircut. Okay, so now I'm going to take and put these two Christmas trees, and I'm just going to use blue dots on them. In there. And like that. And I'm just going to trim this. I don't think I want that being quite so long. There we go. And then I'm just going to put a blue dot on that ribbon, or this bow. Now, I made a card. I'm not sure if I can find it. I made a card out of soft succulent and poppy parade using this set. And I actually colored this ribbon. So before I pulled it all apart, hey Mern, I actually colored this ribbon using my poppy parade blend, and it actually colors nicely, and then pulled it apart, and you get quite a nice color too for that. So it's amazing what you can actually color with your blends. It doesn't have to be white. There we go. So this is covering up my joy. Let's try and see if I can. There we go. All right. So I think I need some rhinestones, just because there's not enough bling on this. I'm just going to use the little tiny rhinestones and put some rhinestones on here. you know, pretty close to what I thought this card was going to turn out like. As I said, sometimes when you have an idea about cards, they don't actually turn out the way you think they might. Okay, so I've got a piece of basic white, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm going to use this piece of designer series paper, but I'm also going to stamp on it that says, "May the love of the season warm your home, and fill your heart." I think that's kind of a nice sentiment. I'm just going to test this and make sure I don't. Sometimes I don't get my labels on exactly straight, and so yeah, that's not too bad. And let's use some glue. I'm just going to put this little circle that I cut off. Like I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to use this one or not. And put this in the corner. And then again, I'm going to use glue dots on my Grinch trees. I don't know, they're so pretty. They're so cute. It's hard to call them Grinch trees because that makes them sound like they're not cute like they are. And I'm just going to trim the tails, their trunks. Like that. And I'll put this on the inside. Oops. That's too. I'm not sure why that. I guess I didn't cut that. I needed to cut that. Oh, this is going to make a mess of my trimmer. All right, I need to cut this to be 5 1/4. All right. I have to clean that off. I have my trimmer all glued together. That. There we go. All right. Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. That ribbon is so pretty. I'm kind of anxious to try it with other ribbons to see if there are other ribbons that will pull apart like this one does. Now, put that back. Now this ribbon, this is the oops. This is the piece that I pulled off. So you can use this, not probably this much of it, but sometimes you kind of wrap ribbon around your hand and put it behind things. You could certainly use this for that. Just cut it a little bit smaller. But anyway, it's really nice and soft and fluffy. So don't throw that away. It's always things that you can use your leftovers for. All right, so here was my sketch. And that's my card. So different ways you can do this. If you could use 3 circles. You could do the snowflakes like I did. You could use 3 different shapes. For example, last night I made a card using the gingerbread and peppermint sweets, and so you could use 3 of the ornaments, or the stars, or the what else was Isabel. So it doesn't have to be circles, but roughly 2 inches is what you want so that you've got room on your card for something else. Great. Thanks, Darcy. Okay. So I did put in the, underneath the video, I put the link to the Google Doc where you can get the sketch. So if you want to go and download the sketch and play along, you can go out to that Google Doc and download it. I also put the link to my Facebook group because I would love for you to share your projects in my Facebook group. So if you're not a member of Create with Stamping with Melva, just click on that link and you can join. And lots of my customers and team share their creations on there, and I love to see them. And at the end of the month, I give a prize, at least one prize away to somebody who I have drawn, who shared a project over the month. I also will be doing every Thursday night, I do a mystery challenge in my group. And so if you want to play along with the mystery challenge, you do need to be part of my Facebook group. So the link is underneath the video. Let's see. So Thursday night at 6:30 Pacific, I'll be back with a mystery challenge. The first clue goes live at 9 a.m. Pacific so that you can play along. Then Saturday at 11 a.m. I will be, actually this Saturday I won't be live at 11 a.m. Normally I go live, but I have a retreat this weekend that we're doing. And so I won't be live with my my project on Saturday, but I will be live on Sunday at 12 noon Pacific. So I hope you'll join me. Also, don't forget that tomorrow, actually starting at midnight tonight, so midnight Mountain Time, is the 24-hour stamp sale event. So 15% off select stamp sets from Stampin' Up! For 24 hours only. So a great opportunity to get a little bit of a discount on some of those stamps you've got on your wish list. So, okay, everybody, thanks for joining me. And don't forget to post your cards. I'd love to see them. Bye, everybody. Happy stamping.